Yeah, the People Podcast. I'm on it here to make you think and take them black to the basis. No gimmicks needed. Our melanin was designed for this greatness. Power is created, the most high, assigned to the favorites. We win as a nation, it's mutual. Young black man, you enough. Ladies, you beautiful. Don't let them tell you different. Your energy can't be shifted. Created, nor destroyed. That's a scientific fact, so opinions is all forward. This is higher learning, higher conscious awareness of self. This that undisputed, undefeated, and in the belt. This your grandma cooking on Sunday morning. Don't touch the fridge. God is good all the time and all the time. Yeah, you did. This is music for the mind. Lyrics to touch your soul. Melody for high frequencies.
Yes, sir. We are back once again with another episode of Black to the Basics, aka the People's Podcast. I am your host and one half, Mr. 52 the Boss, here with my co-host.
It's your boy Jared, man, checking in. You see, had to put the GOAT, you know what I mean, on the screen, you know what I'm saying?
That don't look like Mike the Goo, man.
Nah, we gonna get into that in the players line. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why I put the Kobe hoodie on and got neighborhood nip on the other side. You feel me?
I see, I
LA's
see.
finest, man. What's going on with you?
Hey, everything, man. You know, y'all, you talk about hoodies. For those in video line, you can see that good old NCC and the U to go with the North Carolina Central University.
I
You
thought we was
y'all,
gonna
y'all,
get through
y'all saw what we did. You
I
know,
thought we was
we
gonna get
going.
get through a whole season without you mentioning it.
No, it's HBCU Pride all 365,
Can
baby.
we wait till October, please?
Oh, it's a wrap. Come next month, dog. I'm dressing like I'm going Spirit Week, homecoming, all 4 weeks. I think we might even have 5 Thursdays. We got 5 Thursdays.
Look, I got my Bishop Sycamore alumni stuff going. I can't wait for homecoming.
Oh yeah, it's going down. But
How
nah,
was
man, I'm excited to be here, man. Good day.
Yes, sir, man. How was your weekend, bro? I noticed were out on your little, not
Exploring,
saying your
boy.
little, but your adventure. Let's tell the people what you do this weekend.
Oh yes, sir, man. I did another one with nature hikes. Got to go to Mount Yona here in Georgia. One of my favorite and one of the dopest hikes here in Georgia. Also, one of the most challenging, but has great, excellent views. I probably should have took another couple of weeks before I, went to that one. But hey, my homie hit me up, was like, "Dog, I see you going hiking all the time. Yo, where you going this week?" So I was able to take my man's and his son up hiking, and yeah, we needless to say we were gassed, but we made it.
Yeah, that's
It
what's
was
up, man.
definitely something to be proud of once we got to the top. But yeah, man, it was fun. Nice hike, didn't take too long. Got there early, kind of got to beat the traffic. I saw two very interesting things that happened. I actually saw, I didn't see it, but someone actually got injured on the way up to the hike. I don't know if it was a kid or adult. I couldn't really tell. They were on the ground, but someone when I was coming down from the top, they were saying that the paramedics were coming up the trail. To which I saw that for the first time, and I was like, "Wow, that was crazy to see." They had their whole gear that they had to hike like a half a mile to get to the trail, and they had a whole contraption where it was like a gurney, but it was like one that you like a mobile gurney where you could
Yeah,
just
so
kind of
you
just
can probably
break it
just
down and put it together. Yeah, it
yeah,
had a
yeah,
big old wheel. That was crazy. Yeah, so praying for those people, man. Hoping they good. 'Cause I don't know the next certain situation. I did see somebody stressed out. I'm assuming they probably sprung an ankle, turned the ankle, or anything like
yeah.
that. Even though hikes are fun, it can be dangerous. It is nature.
Look, I was say the
But
blessing
luckily
is
they were
you
with somebody.
you know the paramedics can get to you on your hike. So,
Oh yeah,
it's an
yeah, yeah.
unfortunate
I
situation,
never
but you got to
saw that.
witness it.
So
If you was
yeah,
ever in
that
trouble,
was
they can get to
amazing
you.
to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing to see. Like, okay, so certain hikes you can get help out here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
nah, man, that was kind of different to see. I lost my speaker that I've had for like 10 years. That was very sad
How'd you lose the speaker,
for
sir?
me. Well,
Fell
I
off the
always had
cliff?
my music clipped to my bag. I
Uh-huh.
didn't really have it secured, and I was practicing. I always do a walkthrough of my shot. For those who follow me online, I have one signature pose. I call it the King of the Mountain pose. It's like a jumping pose that I always do. But what you don't know is before I do the pose, I always do like a walkthrough. Like, all right, I'm gonna go here to make sure that I'm in frame. Well, doing the walkthrough, I still had my hydration pack on, which I never normally do, and I did it, and I heard the clip fall off and snap, and it started to roll, and it was a cliff. and it was a decision of, do I want to save my speaker or save my life? It was
I'm
a
glad
very
you
easy
chose.
decision for
I'm
me. I
glad you
didn't even
chose the life.
flinch. I didn't even flinch, and all the people there was like, "Man, that was such a great judgment call. You didn't even move." I said very quickly, I saw I could dive for it and reach, and I probably would have caught it. But in my mind, I'm like, if I jump out there and I slide or miss it,
It's over
I'm
with.
gonna be hanging over the cliff.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in the movies where they like, just reach your hand up. You got the hand, and they up there, you like, just pull me up. And it's almost like 3 or 4 inches where you never can quite connect, like, dog, just
And
reach
that's it.
out.
Yeah.
So because I would have panicked. I don't do well in situations like that. So I try to stay as safe as possible. But yeah, that was kind of sad. So yeah, somebody who work in electronics or in electronic store got the hookup. Holla at your boy. I need a new outdoor speaker, man, for hiking.
Hey, I may got an extra one laying around here somewhere from my days back in retail. I'll let
Hey,
you know. You know what I'm
holla at your
saying? But
boy.
it's
What
gonna
about
cost
you, man? I know you had was this the weekend with the
you. Yes.
Magic Kingdom on
Yes,
ice?
it was. So I am glad that I was able to partake in the Disney on Ice
Okay.
Friday night. Shout out to some good friends over at State Farm Arena. They made sure me
Plugs you nice.
and my princess, we had a great time. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So for one, we were able to. Our seats were phenomenal. I've been in that arena a few times, but I didn't really realize how close we were. So like literally, like we were like right, a couple rows back. You know what
All in
I'm
the
saying? So
action.
like my daughter's small, so she had a great view. She could see everything that was going on. We had food, unlimited drinks. Like it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Apple juice everywhere. You know what I'm
We
saying?
had the
So
full experience. Y'all was getting
I'm
turned at the
thinking like,
Disney
man,
jump.
this is gonna be a snooze fest. My daughter's gonna be happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like,
No.
typical thinking, right? So it actually before the characters came out, they were on the loudspeaker, and when she heard Minnie's voice, like I wish I could put the pictures on the screen. Like my daughter made this face, like, "Oh my god," because she had no idea where we were going, what we were doing.
Right,
She
right.
heard Minnie Mouse's voice, and
And
she
rap.
just erupted, dog. Like, and from the beginning of the show to the end, she was standing up, waving, trying to get at the characters.
In it.
The good thing for me, man, it had a lot of the old school stuff and some of the new school stuff. So like I found myself singing along with a lot of stuff that, a lot of our old school Disney cartoons we grew up on. Like, man, they had Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, they
Yeah.
had you name it, Cars, Toy
Oh yeah.
Story, I
Yeah.
mean,
Classic.
Moana, anything you could think of Disney related,
Disney,
they
it was
had
out
it.
there.
And it was almost this was like the Beyonce show for the kids because the whole arena was on cue, and all you can hear was children's voices, sounds of happy and
Yeah.
laughter. You know what I'm
It's
saying? So
Disney,
that was
dog. You it's nothing but greatness when
I know, but it's just
you
when you're around it, when you're
yeah,
around
I
it,
mean, Disney, you expect nothing but greatness. We
I
got
understand. I
adults, we got grown
understand.
people that go to their park and they don't even have no kids.
Yeah,
That
that's
that
right.
that tells you
We
what time they on.
Another good thing that really warmed my heart too, man, was I saw a lot of fathers there. You know what I'm saying? That we almost had the same idea. Let's give our ladies a break
Mm,
and we're gonna take the little ones, you know what I'm saying? So to see, a lot of us out with our daughters, our sons, just really
mhm.
enjoying it. I mean, it really made for a great experience. So she was thoroughly enjoyed it. She was happy. I got taken back. I was like, man, why do I still know the words to these songs? So it
See, if
was
you would have been dressed in character, it would have made
no,
the
see,
full
we're not gonna do
experience,
that.
dog.
No, no,
You
dog.
you could have been
I
dressed as
had
the
a
genie or
no.
something.
I had actually, yeah, they did have his you ain't never had a friend like me. I'm talking about all the adults was in there going crazy, like, cause that was our thing. So needless to say, we had a great weekend. We're gonna do it again when they come back next year, man. So it was cool. Oh, one other thing too. They added Princess and the Frog with Princess Tatiana, I think is what her name.
The black
And
one.
she was actually represented by a black woman, and it was great to see. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay, Disney, do the dang on thing,
I'm gonna
Disney.
get I'm gonna get to tell you why I'm mad with the Disney show, but for the representation for that part, it was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the fathers out there that
Yes, sir.
you
Hey man, y'all know we can't start any show without first talking to the people, and for that, we got to have that talk to them 52. So y'all heard me talk about me going on my hikes. And I really love my one with nature hikes and being able to be out there with nature and the elements and just thinking about, hey, right now in this moment, nothing really matters but me and finishing this goal of getting to the top of this mountain and coming back down safely. Uh, and today my talk 252 is going to be called "You Just Never Know." So anytime I'm hiking, man, I always try to one make sure I let my peoples know where I'm at. I post a lot. I also, I try to post different content, let people know where I'm at. I respond a lot when I'm doing my hikes. Whenever someone has questions about something after I do post content. But man, for a lot of us, we've been in a position. I don't say a lot of us, but some of us have been in a position where we have felt like, I'm living life. Things are good for me. Things are doing all right. I'm doing pretty decent. But we're not really where we want to be. And when I say that, I mean like you're not where you want to be in life, whether it be financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, career wise, relationship wise, whatever you may have. And when you're not in a position where you're not where you want to be or where you expect to be, you start to look at everything around you. You start to look at outside factors and people that are around you. And you admire some of the things that you see from other people and you clap, okay, you cheer and you're excited for those moments. But deep down somewhere inside, you wish like, dang, man, I wish I was doing something that was more in my purpose or what I wanted to do. And when you do that, you kind of take away and don't look at the things that you are doing and realize, like, yo, you are doing dope things too. And the reason I came up to this conclusion is during my hikes, after I post, some people may hit me up or whatever. I'm always down to answer any questions that people may have about hikes or whatever. And I know them to get the basic, hey man, you crazy, you out here doing it, but hey, keep doing your thing, whoop de woo. But I had a partner of mine that I ain't really seen since like high school, maybe even, early college years. And he was just like, yo, man, I see what you doing, man. Keep doing your thing. Like you really out here inspiring, people, particularly myself. And I'm like, word, like, but you this, and this. This is what you got going on. Start listing off all these accolades for him. And he's like, man, that's cool. But what you're doing, like nothing, nobody, you can't pay for that. That experience, what you're doing, being out with nature, being able to do these things. A lot of us want to do that, but don't have the time, or don't have the dedication, or even the courage to do that. So I just want to encourage you to keep doing your thing. So it made me sit back and think, like, man, I'm looking at other things like, oh, I'm just a beginner. I don't really know nothing about hiking. And to hear people like him and other people text and message me like, yo, man, keep doing your thing. I see you, proud of you, man. Like, that's exciting. It made me look and realize like, dang, I got to start appreciating the things that I am doing, whether it's something that I'm at a level that I see other people that are climbing, these huge mountains or going out of state, but I'm doing something that I love, that I enjoy, that have got great at. And so I just say that to say you just never know who you may be inspiring and who may be watching you and who may be motivated and just really, cheering for you in your corner, even though they may never post or text or comment. There's people watching what you're doing. And so I say all that to say, man, if you're out there, no matter what it is you're doing, if it's not where you like to be, keep pushing, man. Don't stop believing in whatever it is you want to do, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, because you never know who's out there watching and who's pushing and cheering for you to succeed in whatever the endeavors you may have, because they just may need that inspiration from you, and you stopping could also stop them. And you just never know how you affect it. So if you're out there doing anything, or if you're not, go out there and do something that's fun, that you love, that you may not be good at, but just keep pushing, keep working towards your goals. And like I said, that's my talk to him 52. Yes, sir. You muted,
Yeah,
Pimp.
my bad, G.
There you go.
Technical difficulties out there, man. So that's a great word from my brother 52 the boss, man. So you heard him, man.
Yes, sir, right. But
So
y'all know what time.
you already know what time
You
it is.
you
Let's
know what
get it.
time it is. It's time for the
Let's get
Players
it.
Lounge. Let's talk about it.
So you already know where we starting at, man. So
Yeah,
let's
you
kick it
go.
right on.
So go and get out the way.
Let's kick it right on off,
Go and
man.
get it out the
So
way.
there was a game, a very hyped game,
Yeah.
this past Saturday.
Mhm.
Colorado versus Oregon. And so before I give my take on it, I'm gonna just go ahead and ask you, what's your thoughts on the game and what transpired? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you watched the game like everyone else.
Yeah.
Or so what was your thoughts on Colorado in that game, man?
They got outplayed, man.
Okay.
As Prime said, they got a good old fashioned whooping, man. They got spanked. So as they say in the game, where pass the sticks, gotta get out of controller. So I think it was a great wake up call for them. But hopefully, it would be a great wake up call for them to show like, you know, it's good that what y'all doing, but it's gonna take more. And I think that's something that Prime has been preaching to them every day. Like, don't get complacent, don't get happy.
Yeah.
One win is cool, two is cool, three is cool, but it's still on to the next one. And as they say, what's the movie? Any given Sunday, or any given, in this
Yeah.
case, any given Saturday, anybody can
Given
get beat.
Saturday, right?
I don't think that we expected that outcome of that deficit. I mean, of course they were the favorites to win, but I thought we would have saw a little bit more performance from Colorado. There are a number of factors of what we don't know, but at the end of the day, they didn't play to what we are used to seeing with them, and so they just got outplayed. So
Yeah, so what a lot of people fail to realize, and not yourself, I just was looking at the comments because I watched the game, and to be honest, I wasn't disappointed. I didn't expect a blowout like that. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I was telling Aubrey before the game, I was like, man, I don't think this game is gonna go the way people think it's gonna go because they just had way more talent on the field than Colorado, right?
mhm.
I think people forget that Colorado literally was like 1-11 or something like that last year. Like, you know what I'm saying? They haven't won or put together win streaks in a while. So people have gotten spoiled, like, hey, I understand like the hype, the prime effect is real,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you gotta play football and you gotta know what you're up against, right? And like Dion said, you better get me now because it's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
it's
I
only
feel
up
like
from here. It's only up. This
definitely.
only the first. We in the first season,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we,
And they already, I mean, massive record numbers, you know what I'm saying? You got kids already signing that come to play to intend
Mhm.
to be at Colorado, man. So I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, I told y'all." I'm like, "Come on, man. Don't turn on Prime now." You know what I'm saying? And then next week, "Oh yeah, I knew it. They just had an off game." So, shout outs to the players. It was a great game. The coach is what really, kind of threw me off, right? With the whole they
you
play
ain't
for
like it.
clicks. No, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I did, but I didn't
What did he do
because
wrong?
he was a hypocrite, right? You know what I'm saying? You knew exactly what you were doing when you made that statement, right? The
Yeah,
cameras is in the room, in the locker
yeah.
room. They play for clicks. We play for wins. Like, so you mean tell me they don't play for wins?
That
Like,
was great. That was
uh,
great TV, man.
yeah, it was. It made for great
It's
TV,
all
and
it's
a lot of
all
people.
fun, man.
And here's a lot of people don't realize, man. So Oregon is the alma mater of Phil Knight. If you don't know who Phil Knight is, look at
Nike.
your sneakers in your closet. You probably got something, from his company, Nike, right? So Oregon has the state of the art. Anything you name it, Nike related. They got a
You see, they had the thermal.
combination.
They had the thermal cleats, the thermal dunks on.
No, that's what I'm saying. Listen, they have 20 different uniform combinations, right?
Mhm.
So, they had an opportunity to get Oregon on the map, but it was because of Prime in Colorado, where everybody was tuning this game. Let's be
Yeah,
honest. When the last
yeah.
time you tuned in to watch an Oregon game? Don't worry, I'll wait. So keep your head up out there, Colorado, man. It's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? Prime, y'all in a good
They
situation.
gotta have amnesia now because they got USC this week. So
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. And speaking of Colorado, it was just a bad weekend for Colorado because I don't know if you saw on Sunday, something happened to another team from
yeah, Broncos
Colorado.
country. Let's ride.
Yeah, Broncos country, let's ride. You know what I'm saying? So NFL record was almost set
They should put
uh,
they should
on
put a
Sunday.
hundred up on it.
Yeah, it was a 50-point deficit. So yeah,
70-20.
yes, it was pretty bad. I got a couple friends of mine that are Broncos fans, so shout out to y'all because y'all definitely was running y'all mouth over the weekend and karma karma always spin the block, as they say. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? So
What about your boys? Your boys ain't in the report. Ain't in the report
no,
today.
our boys is always gonna be in the report, but not from my end. You know what I'm saying? Because once again,
My
you feel
man
me?
said I'm doing sports, but not on my
Yeah,
squad.
not on my team, not this weekend. But no, I honestly, man. So yeah, we did take an L this weekend, and like I said, I kind of felt
Unexpected L.
yeah. Well,
I
here's the thing: it was a trap game, right? Where I feel like they were looking ahead, they got cocky and was like, "Oh, we just gonna breeze through the
yeah.
Cardinals." They sat their starters down on the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, we can go win. Where they got a wake up call, which for me, I wasn't upset. I was like, this is what you need because we got a tough schedule coming up, so you can't overlook the team that's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And before we get out of here, for those of TV land, if you like I said, I have on my Kobe hoodie today, and I've been saying this for a long time, right?
Mhm.
There was an interview that came out. I don't know if you saw it. Dwayne Wade talked about how the big three were formed in Miami, right? So a lot of people think that LeBron was tired of losing to Boston,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Let's click up, and we're gonna make this thing so we can get past Boston." But
Mhm.
they really wasn't even joining up for Boston. What Dwayne Wade said that hey, they got tired of watching Kobe dominate and win all these championships. And when Kobe got his fifth ring, Dwayne Wade picked up the phone and was like, "Hey man, what we doing? We're gonna keep letting them win." So I go back and tell people all the time, man, Kobe was different. You know what I'm saying? I respect
Cap.
LeBron. And no, this
Cap.
this this came from your man's.
I
Now,
know. That's the
I
problem.
know, I
Why are
know,
we hearing this after Kobe has passed? God rest
I
his
know.
soul.
Listen, but
Like,
here's
not to
the
take away from Kobe, but
thing.
come on.
Hey,
Another Kobe story, dog.
hey
Like,
man,
we getting we're learning more about Kobe now that he's gone. We hearing people speaking more about Kobe now he's gone than when he was alive. Not to say they ain't have a relationship, but everybody got a Kobe story that was
hey
just
man,
like, come
everybody
on,
got
man.
a Kobe
And
story,
I'm
dog.
not trying to take anything away. You know, he has a whole mantra, mama mentality, like
Yeah.
a beast. But I'm just saying, like, it is what it is, man.
I just
Shout out
thought
to
it,
Kobe.
it, it just it warmed my heart because I kept saying, "I look, man, some don't just sit right, man." So I'm glad that I wish he would have got the recognition while he was here
Right.
instead of a
It,
lot of
it
people
ain't
was hating
helping
on
it.
him.
I mean,
Yeah, but
it don't help anything now.
you know how that goes, man. They don't love you until what Jadakiss say. It don't love you till you're dead and gone. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
that's all I got for the players' lounge today, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, it's been a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying in the media or in
Mhm.
the world today. You know what I'm saying? So I've been watching a lot of things transpire in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? So it just had me thinking, man. I want to talk to you today because there is power in words, man. So we definitely gonna jump right into it, man.
Yes,
So
sir.
let me ask you this, man. What do you think, or how do you feel about the current state of music right now? Like, what's your thoughts
Like,
and opinions on that? Like, you know what I'm
uh,
saying? Are we as hip hop or music in a good space? Are we in a bad space? Like, what do you think
I
we
think
are right now?
I think we're in a great space.
Okay.
This is coming from somebody I would consider myself a hip hop head. I'm a fan of the art. I don't know it as much as some of the others, like including people like yourself. But nah, I think things are evolving and changing to a different way and a different form. People don't have to do the same things they did before. You don't have to wait outside the studio and pass people 20 demos. You have a lot of social media platforms. You got a lot of streaming services that are available that you can just drop a song and make it available.
Yeah.
Um, a lot more people, particularly rappers, are becoming millionaires, or at least on paper, or what we see in the tabloids, are becoming millionaires on paper. What we're seeing much sooner. The money is really it's being tossed around. Whereas before it seemed like in the, let's say, 90s, 80s, early 2000s, people had to do a lot to even get a deal. Now it seems like you can drop a YouTube song, and if you get enough spins on it, you can get recognition or get in front of the right people.
Yeah, yeah.
I just think it's changed in a different way that is foreign to a lot of the older school hip hop fans and rap fans. I don't necessarily feel like it's in a bad state, because to say like something is in a bad state doesn't mean like you want it to be a certain way. But
Yeah.
you think about when when how they would rap when they first came out. They was a hip
Hip
hop,
hop.
like, you know what I'm saying? And they thought
Right.
that was bubblegum rap. And then you came with, Curtis Blow and them wasn't spitting bars. Let's just be honest. Like, it was dope, but you not going to school hitting somebody with a Curtis Blow rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it
But
was
not
cool.
now, but back then, probably, right?
Man, come on, man.
What I'm just saying, right?
They were singing it, but you wasn't busting that down the lunch table.
No, not
When
us.
gangster rap came out and New York rap, when they really started to, really tell their stories and started to be, and that's just reporters of their neighborhoods and what was going on, is when people got conscious of, like, I'm reporting what I'm seeing. It's like I'm a news camera seeing this, and I'm just talking about what I'm seeing. I'm telling these stories. They may sound explicit or whatever, but this is my environment. I'm talking about that.
Yeah.
I think now, because we know kind of how to manipulate things and make things a certain way, we don't have to necessarily do the things. I could talk about slanging dope or doing this or, having a lot of money, having a lot of cars, whatever, and nobody's really checking to see. Like, if you were really about something, then, you had to show somebody. Somebody had to see you
Somebody had
put
to validate
hands
it.
on somebody.
You know what I mean?
Such and such stabbed him. Yeah, he stabbed him at the club. Like, now you don't even really, you could just have a persona, and that could just be a character that you have within your, your rap persona. Your rap name is a character. So that could really be aspect of it. Now, I just think it's really different now. And for a lot of us, it's hard to kind of adjust to it being so different, because it's like, man, they not doing this. I think it's that old mantra of work smarter, not harder.
Okay.
Like, people working smarter within the aspect of, like, I know I don't have to spit a hot 16 if I can get something that got a good chorus and I can say a couple lines that easy to repeat.
Yes, catchy. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have to spit my hard 16 bars that I've been practicing. I can drop something that's catchy that you can easily, that's repetitive, that you can easily say and easy, do a call and response to, and it makes it easier for it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily think they're not creative with what they're doing. It's just a smarter way to do it now, and easier in some regards.
So let me ask you this though. So, and I'm glad you mentioned that. So, from my questioning, the aspect was from an influence, right? And you kind of alluded to it in your response. So, music is very influential, right?
Very.
Can you think of a time, or like, what do you think was a pivotal moment for you? Like, we've all had that moment. We listen to something like, oh, okay. So what was that moment for you where music?
Which one you want?
Yeah, let's give the people like.
I got several. Starting off with Pop.
What's your favorite one? So what was something that just influenced? Okay, let's talk about
Pop.
it. So how was Pop influenced? How did he influence your life?
To me, if as a youngster, I felt he was just so, like, on his own world. Like, he lived in his own mantra. He didn't play by nobody rules. He didn't care who you were, what you represent. He believed in him more than himself. He threw out the W. My last name was Weak, so I thought he was throwing it out. He was showing me, yo. So I was, 11, 12, throwing on the bandana. I ain't had a body, but I definitely had that bandana. I was throwing the West all the time. So back to the point when I was on a field trip. Dog, when I was on a field trip coming from the Kennedy Center, you know how little kids be on the bus. I threw up the W on the joint, and they, they pulled in front of the bus, and they pulled the bus over and was like, hey, who was out there throwing the signs? And I was like, I don't know, wasn't me. But yeah, I was, Pac really had me feeling like it's me against the world.
Okay.
So that's definitely one moment for me. My love and appreciation that I have for DMX. I felt he was another person that just knew who he was and serious about his craft so much that he took everything personal about it.
Yeah.
I think that identified a lot with me, where I even had a whole dog chain. Like, I went to Home Depot, made me a whole dog chain. I watched all his movies, dog. I used to get paid $5 to perform belly scenes. That was my real acting.
You don't know people until you know people.
Hey,
man. Like,
I used to get it, dog. Juvie had me wearing the bandana. I was gonna get a tattoo on my arms that had the VA boy on the joint. Like, it was serious, man. I mean, it definitely. I had the aluminum foil in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't tell me that I wasn't representing, dog. I even went to the flea market and got me a Cash Money chain, dog. I was trying to be down with the clip.
So it's safe to say that music has influenced you as a youngster too.
Beyond, dog. And then, growing up in the DC area, Go-Go influenced me. I talk and dress, try to sound like everybody around me that within the Go-Go bands from the backyard, Northeast Groovers, Rare Essence, all these people, Wet Band, all these different type of groups, when you see those things, it's like they rock stars to you, man. You see people that are rappers, and let's talk about in the 90s, right?
Okay.
When you saw somebody doing something, like you had to actually be there, or somebody had to, post something or something where you could see. But it wasn't like if you missed it, you just missed it.
Yeah, you missed it, right?
It wasn't like somebody gonna be like, "Hey, let me send you this video of it." Like it wasn't like that.
You couldn't live stream an event,
right?
back
So
then.
you had to really be a part of it. So when you got to go to a concert or you got to see your favorite artist, perform. I remember growing up in DC area, and Chuck Brown was the godfather of go-go, but seeing him, he only partied with the older crowd. So you had to be 25 and up to party with Chuck. And I was waiting, like, when I turned 25, I'm partying with Chuck. I don't care what's going on.
So did you get a chance to party with Chuck?
I did. As a youngster, he came to the hood in VA and did a free concert right outside the high school. So it was like that meant everything to me. Like, this is somebody that we grow up seeing. And when you see people that are on that level and you get to meet them, it's like you meeting God out here. You seeing your celebrities and like, dog, you seeing them, because you got to realize celebrities weren't that accessible, as they are now. Like, you didn't know nothing about nobody unless they got in trouble. Only time you found out about something if they got in trouble. If they didn't get in trouble or they got no big deal or doing something business wise,
you didn't know anything about them unless you ran into them.
Yeah. You didn't know if they were still rapping, if they ain't dropped no album. You had no clue.
Yeah. And that's crazy, man, because, growing up in the VA area, Norfolk, we have musical talent all over the place, like Missy, Timbaland, rest in peace, Magoo,
Chris
Genuine,
Breezy,
Chris Brown, D'Angelo, the Clips, even though, New York tries to claim the Clips all the time, but,
two up, two down.
Pharrell, just to name a few. So I remember growing up, how influential music was for me, man. So like, the first time I heard Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt, right? I didn't understand it, like, when I first heard it, but then as I became like a teenager and, going back and listening to, like, because Jay's my favorite artist, one of them, one of my favorite artists. So just the whole, how he brag, flow on the beat, like, I'm like, yo, whatever he doing to get money, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, saying? I don't want to be the tough guy. I want to be the fly guy with the money, the cars, the jewelry,
talking,
everything that came with it, and just the slick talk. Like, I mean,
yes, sir.
Just everything about Jay. And then, when I first heard Big, which, my uncle don't know this, but when he left, when I was staying with my grandparents, when he left to go to work one day, he left his Ready to Die album at home. So, because I remember the song Juice used to always come on BET. Back in the day, we actually watched music videos, right? So I'm like, yo, like, who is this guy? Like, his stories and, how he, portrayed his lyrics. I'm like, man, you actually felt like you was actually watching somebody on the corner sell crack or whatever the situation is. So
I performed Juicy in 4th grade, third or 4th grade at the lunch table, a cappella. With just people clapping. So
you couldn't tell me nothing. I like, yo, between Jay and then, Big, I'm like, man, yo, whatever they doing, like, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do that when I grow up. You know what I'm saying? So, music is very influential just to, from emotions, right? You see, not just men, but women do it too. But like, you can always tell, fellas, you always know what kind of mood your lady's in by the kind of music she playing in the house, right? You know what I'm saying?
If she got
Mary J, No More Drama song playing, hey, it's gonna be a long day.
It's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be a problem. So, music and words are very powerful, man. So, can you think of a moment where you just knew, like this is it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a phenomenon, right? I'm gonna give you one. When Cameron had the whole Pink wave, right? You know what I'm saying? Us growing up, what do we think? Pink was for women or for girls. You ain't wearing no pink. You know what I'm saying? Now, Cameron Dipset came out with the whole I'm wearing pink thing. I've never seen so many brothers wear
crazy
pink. I mean, pink jerseys, pink hats, everything, man. So, can you think of a time where you let's
several, dog.
It's a thing going with this.
Yeah,
by the way.
No. So with your mans, Joe, when Hove threw the rock up, dog,
oh my goodness,
and not only that, when you got that chain, when it was like, it's the rock, I'm the newest member. Like, when you got that chain, it meant you were a part of something. It meant that you weren't. It meant like you weren't on your own. Like, you had a clique, you had a squad that was gonna ride for you. Seeing
that team.
That was amazing. Cash Money, like when you really like Cash Money, still to this day, it's
Yeah.
still the number one group. Like, let's just be honest, right? But seeing them, seeing a young Wayne, 12, 13-year-old Wayne that's around your age, and you seeing what he's doing, and this man jumping out of helicopters, and they got all the money, they got all the cars, and you
All the
seeing
cars,
this
bling
like,
bling, all
dog,
that money, everything.
I got to be a part of this. Like,
Right. Okay.
those moments were just crazy, man. Even when I bought the two first albums I first bought was DMX, and then there was X album, also the My Flesh Blood and My Blood albums. But
Phenomenal album, by the way.
when 400 Degrees came out, dog, I
Different.
went to the barbershop, got my hair cut, and got that album at the record store next door, man. Oh my gosh. I bumped that joint front, back, side, like, oh my gosh.
Man, listen, I don't know if I shared that story, man, but I was a freshman in high school when 400 Degrees came out, right? And I used to always go back home to Pensacola for the summer. So shout out to my cousin Jamal, you know what I'm saying? He is big into music, right?
Yeah.
I had no idea who Cash Money, I didn't know who they were because we weren't listening to that.
Right.
He was like, yo, he played that 400 Degrees album, dog, I lost it. I went back home after the summer. I was listening to it. They were like, man, what is that you listen to? I said, bro, like, this is cold. Then I'll never forget it, man. 106 in Park, when AJ and Free, the original 106 in Park, when they debut High. Come on, man. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just had to be there, man. Like, I just wanted to be I wanted to be in the NOLA.
I had loved New Orleans ever since then. Like, and then when I went there, I was like, it's 10 times better when you
right.
go here. It's crazy. But no, man, those moments were so important. Seeing that, you just knew like it's over. Like when Juvie Back That Thing came out, when you first heard them chords, them strings in the beginning, you knew. When you were you in a dance or you in a club and you hear that, you looking. As soon as you hear that first, them strings come, you looking for. I gotta find somebody.
It don't matter where you were. You could have been in the bathroom,
church,
concession stand,
funeral.
You hear that, doom, dun. Everybody, everybody running. Like,
you looking. To this day, that has to be the number one. That song gets so much love. It's such a great song. Shout out to Manny Fresh for that beat. It's just, I mean, everything about the song is great. The video was amazing. When Wayne hit the after you pack it up and stuff. What? Drop it like it's hot.
Oh, it was crazy, man. Like, for me, Master P, the video make him say right? You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, I wanted a No Limit Man on I wanted a No Limit chain so bad, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to shoot a music the tank. I wanted to shoot a music video just like that. That means just like they was having a ball, right? So like, before games and stuff in high school, or even like when I was playing rec league, like it just certain music would influence me. Like, okay, cool, I'm gonna have a good game because I'm listening to this before a game, or I'm hyped before a game. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy that words have so much power to influence people to do, great things or bad things.
While we playing, we joke about this man and clown him all the time, but Diddy, dog. Let's just be honest. When Mace had the Harlem World joint, dog.
No. Listen, I was about to say, I ain't gonna lie to you. When what song is that? Feel So Good, I think it was.
Yes.
When that first came on, they was in Vegas, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. This gonna be a B2B exclusive. Dog, I wanted a shiny suit. I'm not gonna lie. That green joint was cold.
Them videos look fun, dog. But dog, when Mace had the Harlem World CD came out, we were in like middle school, dog. And we were doing English class, and it was parts of speech. When I say every person in the class, every group had a Mace joint. Like our joint was adjectives. Then another person was verbs. So they was like, why you over there kicking those verbs? Why those nouns standing here? Oh my gosh. Our joint was the adjectives, how many, how much. Son, good times. As you see the excitement. Every group did a song off that Harlem World joint. Like it was just that. It was just a good time where you were just excited, where people were sharing music. You had to share. Hey, let me listen to your joint in class. Man, you got PE this class, so I got English, so let me go ahead and get that up off you, and I'm gonna hand it back next period. Like,
man, listen, I done seen so many fights happen over people not giving CDs back.
Messing up your headphones, all of that, man.
Listen, when Rough Riders Volume 1 came out, the very first song when it came on, dog, I was like, yo, this. Now, mind you, I was in I think I 7th grade when this came out, right? And I think I tricked my mom and told her it was the edited version. and I
It's
hid
the
the
Walmart joint.
yeah,
Cover that joint up.
I covered the parental advisory stick on the joint. So, I was able to, man, listen, when that first song came on, like, yo, listen, like I want to be a rough ride. I want to be a bike club.
Nah,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
doing
Because
wheelies. You 200 deep at a video.
uh,
What? Put me in the video. And you got dogs on
you
top of
got
that.
dogs
Come on.
around, you got
Come
a
on, man.
million people, like your squad is
Let
around.
me
Like,
get the leather vest. Let me get the jumps. I get the brother. Let me get the double R. Stop playing, man.
dog, listen, when DMX came out with the stop,
What? Come on, man.
come on, man. Like, dog, it
When
was,
you heard the oh my God.
dog, like the influence that artists had on us back in the day was crazy, man. Like like I was saying before, it can then either push you to a positive mind state,
Yeah.
or to push you to, could be a negative mind state. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it is a lot of power in the word. They hear it all the time. Preachers talk about it all the time. Like, the tongue is very powerful. You know what I'm saying? So you got to, recognize your power. Just like with us on our platform, you have to recognize that, hey, we have a voice. We can either use it for the good reasons, or we can use it for the bad reasons. You know what I'm saying? Because
the choice is yours.
Yeah, the choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? So, can you recall a time where you felt like music might have been the cause, right, of something taking place, right? I have an example, but I want to see if you have an example where something negative,
like something bad happened.
Yeah, and you like, man, that person was influenced by this, and I'm stay with me, because
I don't not that I can recall off the top of my head, at least not growing. I don't. I think that would be equivalent to me trying to say something like, as far as gaming doing something. I can't think of something off the top of my head as far as from us. Now, I know there were instances of in the 90s when they had the Columbine, and they were attributed to listen to certain artists and things like that.
They try to say that, yeah.
Right. I know. So also they know they had that guy. What's that weird dude?
Oh my goodness,
Marilyn Manson.
Oh,
was like taking out his ribs and
it
eating
was
bags, all types of crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
People were doing that, and you had the people that were committing suicide with different things. But as far as me and my experiences with that, not necessarily that I can think of. So I'm sure I probably done some crazy stuff, listening to something on the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna give you an example, right? So I'm not gonna disclose his name, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Please don't drop no names.
Good friend of mine, right? Back in the day, we were at a particular skating ring in Virginia Beach, okay? If you're around my age, you know about Hey Good Skating Ring in Virginia Beach, right? Now, being that we grew up in Norfolk, this particular skating ring was located in Virginia Beach. At the time, there was a whole Virginia Beach versus Norfolk kind of thing. So you had to
still is. What you mean?
It still is, but it was bad then, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If you went somewhere, if you didn't have at least 15 to 20 people with you, it probably was gonna be a problem. But anyway, so this particular night, I don't know if you remember a group called Crime Mob. Okay, there was a song that came on, Nuck If You Buck, right? And I seen my guy get knocked out. Because when this song came on, it's almost like you can see the whole thing play out. The music came on, everybody got the bouncing,
your man was getting
and he was getting over the top with it, and it just went bad. You know what I'm saying?
He was getting hands. He putting that work on him.
Yeah. Just needless to say, it wasn't a good night for him. But we was able to redeem ourselves. But that just let me know then, like, man, music is powerful. Like, you know what I'm saying? For you to get charged
got
up,
their head knocked off when Bia Bia and any crunk music came on.
Or like with what's the basketball player's name? Matt Barnes. He did an interview when he talked about when he went over to fight Derek Fisher behind his ex-wife.
He was on site for that. I mean,
and he said, man, I'm in the car, I'm listening to Tupac, and he's like, it just gave me so much energy, and I'm like, man, music. It has powerful, dog.
It has the power to get you in a certain zone. Even when you go to the gym or something, people have certain playlists that they need.
I sure do.
I gotta get it today. You have certain playlists that you listen to is gonna motivate you one way, or you might be going through something. You might play that Mary J. or some one of the other slower songs for it. So it definitely has the power to make you feel a certain way or aid in how you feeling in that certain moment. 100%.
So like I said earlier, man, as I was sitting back and just looking at the current state of music, right? And once again, I think music is in a great space. It's music for everybody, right?
Mhm.
But then it goes back to what I was saying as far as people or being influential, right? So there's some artists out there, and I'm not gonna name no names. I'm just looking at how like the youth are now responding to the type of music that's being portrayed, right?
Mhm.
So you have, young ladies. I had the pleasure. I went to a football game, right, and a particular song came on, and I saw these young ladies. You know what I'm saying? They were, pretty
Wasn't
much
it open?
doing some things that were inappropriate, and I'm looking around like, where are these parents at, or where's
Oh, these
the
were
OG?
kids?
Yeah, these are
Oh,
high school
wow.
kids, right? You know what I'm saying? So, or
Yeah.
not high school on even down to middle school, like knowing the words word for word, right?
Mm.
Or I've been in places where other artists have been playing music about drilling, spilling the block. You see the young boys like, yeah, I'll do this, I do that. So, like, do you feel like the music that's being portrayed now is giving our youth like pushing them down the wrong path because music is so influential, right? So they don't see that there's a better way to do something, right? This was popular. I got to spin the block. I got to retaliate. Or this is a hot girl summer. You know what I'm saying? Now, all that's appropriate, but for the right age group. That's just all I'm saying. How do you feel about that? You know what I'm saying?
But
Being a father.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, with in that, I'm gonna be honest. So, being a father of a teenage girl that's 14, um, I try my best to give my daughter the game up front. I much rather hear certain things come from me than to get it. Ultimately, I can't stop everything. I can do everything right and try to shield her from all this, and she can go to school and see something inappropriate.
Yeah.
Right. I just try to teach her, I have certain guidelines and principles and pillars that I tell her, like, hey, don't be a chicken head. And people hear that and they're like, oh, not like the song. It's like, no, we have our own idea that I
Yeah.
won't share because that's between me and my daughter. But as far as certain things, I don't want her to have to deal with or have to worry about, and I want her to be a certain way. The same thing, I have certain principles for my son. Like, don't be out here being like certain
Yeah.
things you just can't do. So I try to make sure with my kids, I try to tell them what's what, you know what I'm saying, try to be upfront with them. But I don't, there's no way to really shelter in a sense to say, hey, don't listen to this, because you know us. When your mom told you don't do this, you
Then
gonna do
anyway.
it. You're gonna do
Yeah.
opposite, right? I just think we're overwhelmed with just how easy it is to access stuff. And I think that's the more shocking part. Because we were doing a lot of the things that, we see now that the kids are doing. It's just, we were hiding it, right?
So I think so. Let me ask you a question. So is it different now because we're parents? Because to your point, right?
Yeah.
The things that they talked about in music, people emulated or wanted to do,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So like, so here's the thing. So here was a wake up call for me, right? So I'm watching TV. We're eating dinner actually. So me and my
Mhm.
wife, the kids, and what's the artist name? Ice Spice
Mhm.
comes on. She has a commercial with Ben Affleck,
The
right?
munch drink, right?
Yes, right. Whatever that is, right. So when it comes on, like me, I'm very involved in my children, but I had no idea my daughter knew who Ice Spice was, right? So when it came on, she got to dancing. I'm looking like, hey, what's going on? Because I know, what I'm saying. That once again, I think it's a certain age level that's appropriate to listen to that kind of music, right? But my thing was, I'm like, hey, you got some stuff going on in school that you're having difficulty memorizing. But when this song came on, you was all for it. So I'm like, whoa, let's dial it back. You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta put in an Ice Spice song and she'll get it.
No,
Come
no,
on.
no, no. But here's the thing. So like, you see, young kids try, and like we did it too. So I'm not, pointing the finger, right?
Yeah.
You see young kids try to emulate what they're doing out there, right? You know what I'm saying? What the artists are talking about. And I feel like that could be a dangerous space because we live in a different age or different time now, right? Where things are a lot more crazy than it was when we were growing up. Not saying stuff didn't happen, but it's like the access to technology, the things that kids have access to now, we didn't have access to those things growing up. So I feel like it could be in a dangerous space if you're not monitoring or listening to what your kids
Yeah.
are kind of involved with. Because you hear it all the time when kids are, unfortunately, they commit suicide,
Mhm.
or the signs were probably there. You know what I'm saying? Or I saw a story where they were talking about these young men that went up and shot up his school. and he felt like he was just trying to emulate what he heard on the records. I got an issue, I got a problem. This person say spin the block. Now it's not the artist's fault,
Mhm.
but I think a lot of people don't realize, like I said before, the power and the influence that they have on people. Like music is very influential, man. So if you know the story in the Bible, who was over, music, you know what I'm saying? Like it was, just
Saying the devil's in the details.
no, no,
Ernest?
no. What I'm just saying is, right? What I'm saying is,
I
mute
just I get what you're saying as far as the aspect, but I think also we're just shocked with how fast everything has gone. It was much slower before.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to worry about having the birds, the bees talk to you. Got to, you like mid like 15, 16 ish. Now you might be like 10 or 11 talking about,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's just different. I don't like how it's easily the media can quickly spin something and make it seem like, oh, it's because of this. Because a lot of things are, bad, if it's not appropriate. It's bad to drink alcohol, but you can go buy it in every store. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
It's bad to
You
smoke
can buy it in
cigarettes.
every store, but it's like when it's your age group is appropriate. Let's be honest. A lot of us, not myself, Mom, if you listening, drank before they were 21, but it's like, okay, well, they did that. So it's a lot of things that we did that we would probably never talk about or never tell anybody. Like some things we I ain't even, God just gonna have to pull my card on that one because I ain't telling nobody about that. We have moments like that. I just think it goes back to that mentality of you gotta be the first educator of your children about everything. The same way you go to school, you don't expect your teacher to teach your kids everything. There's certain things you just gonna have to give them, and you gotta try to control as much as you can by control what you can control within that. But I think when people look at like, oh, it's just the media and it's just the music and this and that, those are usually the people that's not really having that talk with their kids or really explaining to this and that. Because let's be honest, we was bumping the mess out of Luke, Too Short, a lot of Lil Kim, Foxy,
Stuff
like
that we
was
definitely was
bumping.
not supposed to be listening to.
Right,
You're right.
none of that drink. Adina Howard, like we weren't supposed to be listening to none of these things. You know what I'm saying? But yes, it was a different way they did it. Right, it was very a high overtone of it was suggested. Right, so you had to kind of decode it. Now it's kind of in your face because that's kind of the way. Sally say it's like you say things directly, so it's different. It's jarring to hear because it's just like I ain't gonna be around the bush. I'm gonna get straight to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very different. But yeah, there are moments where I'm in the car with my dog. I'm like, oh nope, turn to that. We ain't listen to that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And I explained to her why, like, hey, there's gonna be a time and a place when you're an adult and you 35. Hey, you can do all those things, but right now, nah, you good. My son, hey, I know you want to do this, son, but it ain't that time right now. You just gotta have those conversations and try to enforce the things you can and give them that understanding now. Because at some point, they're gonna be adults the same way we eventually had to leave the nest.
And
Our
become adults,
parents
right?
had to trust that they had given us enough information about life that we were gonna go out and make great decisions and make them proud and do things that's gonna make them happy. But if we I think it's an easier thing to let music be the scapegoat because the same thing is like the same thing that we're crucifying people for, like, oh, it's bad, is the same thing that we praise for, like, oh, I love this because when I hear this make me feel a certain way or this get me in my zone. It's like it's the same music, like they just may have different songs that they go about it. I think you got to find out what works for you. I don't listen to all rap. I don't listen to all stuff on the radio.
Yeah.
There are certain things I like to listen to. If it's something, I might catch something that got a nice beat. I pretty much listen to anything minus country or heavy metal. Other than I'm not, nothing you can do to pay me to listen to those two. It's a rap. Any other genre?
So you don't have no heavy metal on your gym playlist?
No, never. And if you do, I'm gonna leave wherever you are. I don't want no association with you if you listen to that. I'm sorry.
I don't
No
have
dice.
I don't have any heavy metal on my
no
gym playlist.
no heavy metal, no country. I'm good on those two.
I don't have either one of those on there.
Yeah.
The closest song I think that's country related, and I think that's I might have it because I have the whole album is that song Nelly had with what's the yeah, that's
What was
gonna be
that
the
with
close.
Garth Brooks?
Yeah, was it Tim McGraw? Somebody, right?
Oh, Tim McGraw.
Yeah, whoever it was. I think that's the only thing that could come close.
Hey, you stupid.
I'm just,
I
other than
was
that,
bumping
man.
that joint like it was a rap.
Other than that, you not called, man. Nelly was a good artist, man. Listen, you talk about influence, dog. When Nelly and them came out, bro,
Band-Aid, Air Force
I didn't
Ones.
I didn't do the
Come on.
Band-Aid, man. But like
Air
people,
Force
I saw
Ones.
people from my area trying to talk like they was from St. Louis.
Hey, dirty.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, dirty, I'm like, dog, come on, we not
It's
that ain't
over
us.
there, dirty.
Yeah, that ain't us, man. Oh, but you made me lose track what I was getting ready to say, dog. Oh, so speaking to like what you were saying as far as like we should do a better job of like kind of raising monitoring our children
Yeah.
and kind of what they listen to, right? But the funny thing to me, man, I saw an interview where Nicki Minaj was like, she was in a studio with one said artist,
Mhm.
and he was rapping or writing his raps down about the drug intake
Right.
that he does, or whatever the situation is. And he was like, yo, I don't do none of this. Like, you know what I'm saying? People see what I really drink or do this, I'll be considered a lightweight, right? But you have thousands of people that feel like because they're fans of you and they are
We gotta
influenced
do
by
it.
your actions, they got to live up to with the stuff you
Yeah.
see, you hear in the music, man.
Of
So
course.
when does that become like, all right, as an artist, right? I mean, I'm no musician, but when do you take like self-awareness, like, hey man, the stuff that I could be saying
Mhm.
could be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you ever think an artist gets to that point, or is it just about the money at that point? You know what I mean?
I think I'm not a musical artist, but I am an artist. I think in that regard, you think about your art first when it comes to it. And being an artist, we think very different and creative. And our biggest thing is being able to operate freely within your creative space, whatever that may be. Um, I don't necessarily, I don't know how to, put like that type of, hey, I should feel guilty, because they take like a Travis Scott, right? People lost their lives at his concert, right?
Very tragic situation, right?
And then they blamed him, and he had to go on hiding for like 18 months. And then
Mm-hmm.
now we slowly getting little glimpses of him, and they put all the blame on him. And I was like, well, how is he at fault when he's just a person that's at concert? It's like we want artists, our favorite artists, to get big, but then as you get big, now you don't like them no more. Now it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think like it's really our fault as consumers and supporters of
Okay.
it, because the reason that these artists are so big is because we're supporting their music, we're
We put
supporting
them
their
there,
stuff.
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. So if they don't have our support, our $10 or whatever you pay for your streaming services, that influences as far as the artist. Because look at when 2020 2021, when cancel culture was on the rapid, like it was going around like
everybody was
a
getting
cold,
canceled.
boy.
Yeah.
People was catching cancel culture like they caught a common
Look,
cold, boy.
for tweets for stuff they did back
Boy,
in
people was
2002.
deleting everything. They was getting the PR team like delete all this. I'm sorry, the new account, as a matter of fact, like whatever. Like, and so even in that regard, people were trying to do things because now the money is gone. This is once you start to influence or hit people's pockets in any regard. I don't care what it is you're doing. It changes the way people view things. The same way when they, Black Lives Matter, this and that. It's like, hey, hit the pockets. In any aspect, when you start to tap people's pockets and start to pull things, we had the baby had his situation. He was on top of the world.
And then
Stuff started
one
pulling
false
away,
move.
and then now you start looking at him different. Like, I don't really like him. He was just hype. And now he's, been able to rebuild himself, kind of,
right.
make things different. But I think in that regard, while we want to, it's easy to point it at them. We gotta really point at ourselves. We didn't put him in this position. We the one re-showed, hey, happy B-Day, OG. Happy B-Day, big bro.
I hate that, bro.
Yeah, happy B-Day, happy G-Day, big bro.
I hate
you know
that,
what I'm saying? They posting pictures that you went to the concert as if you would have. Hey man, happy G-Day to my dog, man. I knew you was gonna make it since the first album.
Hey, for the record, man, that is always gonna be a telling why you mad people. I hate when people do that.
That's what I'm saying. When people like we do this, so we're sitting up here trying to blame these artists for stuff, and we the culprits. We the reason.
What I'm saying is it the influence that's got us? You know what I'm saying? That's got people, going to do these things, right? Fainting when they see their favorite artist, like, man, like,
Well,
oh my
yeah, I don't
God.
know about that. That's
Bro, I've witnessed it. I've witnessed it. Listen,
I only
I've
seen it with Michael
witnessed
Jackson. So
no, I witnessed it when a certain artist was here, and
okay,
I'm talking about I've seen not
passing out,
only women, I seen grown men grab their
fainting.
chest, hit the ground. I'm like, dog, is this real? Like, I never saw this
Oh, yeah,
happen before.
that just comes with us idolizing people for
Okay,
a certain. I mean, at the end of the day, these are still people. Like
yeah,
that's the thing. We put people so high, they be like, I'm a regular person. So that's what happens when you go up like, yo, I bought your album. Can you sign me? I ain't taking no picture with you. I'm sitting
yeah,
here with my kids. Get out my face, dog. I'm trying
yeah.
to
Then
eat
it's a
lunch. Get
problem,
out
right?
of here. Now they like, oh, they, you know what I'm saying? So we put these people in a position and then get mad. So it's really, I feel like I blame us. It's the same. We're the ones that supporting them, buying they books, they albums, they merch, all the stuff. Hey, I gotta get this because my favorite rapper just put out. He got a cookbook.
Right. So I'm
When you ever know this man that makes anything? Now he got a cookbook. You supporting it? Come on, man. Stop it.
so so before we get out of here, man, when it comes to the power of the word, what I'm saying, the influence, man, what
Yeah.
what do you want to lead the people when it comes to?
Choose wisely.
Okay,
Choose you this day. Like you gotta choose what you listen to, what you put in your body. The same way you eat. If you eat a bunch of junk, it ain't gonna end good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
you understand. So what you put in that, it's the same way. The type of stuff you listen to is gonna let you know where you at. And you're like, if you listen to something that's gonna say I'm gonna kill everybody, you probably gonna feel like that you can slap anybody in their face. You
yeah,
know what I'm
and you
saying?
gonna do
It's
those
just
things, right?
you gotta be aware and cognizant of the fact of what you consuming. Same way like I said, if you like to drink, you're not just gonna keep drinking 1800 or Hennessy just straight out the bottle just for the heck of it, because you understand what's gonna happen. You
Yeah,
understand the other parts of that. So the same way you listen to, there's artists that I like, and I'm like, this album may not connect, this song may not connect. I still like them as an artist, but it's just certain things that I don't really like that. Or they
yeah.
may be artists that people hype up. I'm like, I don't see it. Like I ain't feeling it, right?
Hey, I've been guilty of that when people like, dog, you're crazy. It's a couple artists that
Right.
don't
And,
move
and
me
you'll
at all.
have those moments, but I just feel like you have to choose what you consume. And then from the standpoint of being parents and, uncles and aunts, like you just have to be aware of the type of content that you're allowing. Of course, you can't stop it all, but you at least want to give them, hey, this ain't time. I tell my
Yeah,
daughter all the time, there's a time and place and everything. When it's your time, I got you. Like, I've given my daughter grace on certain things. Hey, you wanted to do this. She wanted to get her hair a certain way. She wanted to start wearing nails. I'm like, there's gonna be a time, and all of those things. And to her credit, she's fallen in line and say, okay, Dad, I'm gonna trust that what you saying is accurate. And when those times come for her, hey, she got it. She's good to go. She's a great kid. So within that, you just have to not allow the media, society, these artists
to influence you to
to
do
be
something crazy.
yeah, we expect them to be teachers. They out here trying to get a mansion and trying to get this, and you out here
They ain't trying to be nobody's
yeah, they ain't think
role
about
model.
being no mentor. What? I'm trying to get this house. What you talking about? I'm trying to get this.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to get this Maybach. What you talking about? Going about my album, stop playing, and
I
come
get-
to my show on top of that. So you have to understand what's important to you may not necessarily be the focus or importance to the artist. And there's nothing wrong with that because everybody have different things, but understand that what you putting your money to. You know what I'm saying? Like we go
Yeah.
to different grocery stores for a reason. Look, everybody ain't going to Whole Foods. Everybody ain't going to Trader Joe's. You might just be a Kroger person. You know what I'm saying? Or Harris Tea, whatever. Might be an Aldi person, whatever. You got to find out what works for you and
I'm a
stay
Trader
in
Joe
that.
man myself.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you the ones who think they got a PhD because they go to Trader Joe's. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
Trader Joe's to be. I'm a Trader Joe's
See, I'm
man.
a Whole Foods and Sprout type of guy, little public switch for me.
Man, listen, I agree with everything you said, man. I just want to leave the people, with this one little thing right here, man. So once, like you said, choose wisely, but
Yeah,
be aware of the power of the tongue. You know what I'm saying? You
definitely.
can speak life into people, you can speak negative things into people, you can speak those things into yourself. So
Yes,
when
sir.
you listen to the music, you know what I'm saying, enjoy it, take it for what it is, but don't let music or the influence define who you are as a person or make you feel like you're inadequate or you're not being successful at life based
Yep.
upon what you're listening to. So remember, Choose your words wisely. Be listen. I feel like I'm doing the alcohol commercial. Listen responsibly. Okay, you know what I'm saying, and enjoy your freedom. You know what I'm saying. So that's all I got.
Shut up. My man doing the PSA.
Yeah, I just shot a whole B2B commercial, infomercial.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, before we go, my man said he had a hot take for his telling why you mad. So
Yes.
it's
I'm gonna tell
time.
you why I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell
Tell
you
him
why
why you
I'm
mad,
mad.
man.
I'm gonna tell you why.
So
What you got, man? Go ahead, close
you
out with
heard
the
what
tell
I
him why you
said.
mad.
Now, even though last week, you know what I'm saying, he threw a jab at me, and the people, ladies and gentlemen, you know,
I did.
yes, you did, but I've been a much improved person. Those things are no longer here. Okay, but my telling why you mad is this, right? Now, I enjoyed the Disney on Ice this weekend, right? Now, here's the thing.
Yes.
This is for any event. If you're gonna do things, like, get the right representation. Okay, I was highly upset. Okay, highly upset when I saw certain characters come out and they weren't portrayed by the ethnicity or their background. Right? Okay, so here's the thing: Princess Jasmine was not of her descent. Right? They had someone from a
She wasn't the same ethnicity. You
no,
saying she was Caucasian?
no, she was Japanese. Okay. Phenomenal, right? Listen, skating on point, right? Skating on point. But then when we go home, I gotta explain to my daughter why. Oh, well, Princess Jasmine didn't look like that, or such. You know what I'm saying? So it was just upsetting. You know what I'm saying? Aladdin was played by a white guy, right? You know what I'm saying? Just
He's clearly not white.
yeah, he clearly is not white, right? So the only person that was represented was two people, right?
Was Princess.
Princess
Princess
Tiana.
Frog.
Yeah, Princess Tiana was represented beautifully, by the way. You know what I'm saying? And Moana's character, the main
So you
character.
definitely got to get that right.
You definitely got to get that right. But I feel like they dropped the ball on a lot of characters, and this can have kids out here confused. You know what I'm saying? But this just a go for that. I get tired of movies doing it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They'll have a movie played by somebody that looks
In
nothing
South
like
Africa.
the person. Like, come on, man. You got movies like The Last Samurai played by Tom Cruise. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say to all you aspiring film directors, movie directors out there, that if you're listening, if you're gonna do a project, represent it right. Because if not, you're gonna confuse people and send the wrong message. This is my telling why you, man. I was highly I
Make sure that
enjoyed
they're
the
the
show.
correct ethnicity. For
I
her.
enjoyed the show. However, when there was times, oh no, you don't look like that. No, Mulan. I thought they was gonna get Mulan right. They didn't get Mulan right. So you know what I'm saying. You wanna holler at me, Disney? I'll get y'all cast together.
We can get.
Come
we
on,
can
man.
hold some auditions.
Y'all got the funds to do it. Now, great talent across the board everywhere, but it didn't look like what I grew up on looking at. Okay, if you couldn't get that to
Very different.
do like they did Maui. Now, it's not a lot of people walking around built like Maui. So what did they do? They made a full body costume. So whoever was in it looked like Maui. When he came out,
So
my daughter was like, "Oh, that's Maui, right?" Okay, she can identify that. But then when you see somebody like Mulan, and she's like, "Who is that, Daddy?" That's Mulan, baby.
She got blonde hair and blue eyes.
No, it's not. That's not Mulan. So
Mulan got black hair.
Let you know, man. Make the representation right. And that's all I got, brother.
Hey, man, this something's wrong with him. This man and the kids don't take notes. This don't make no sense.
That don't make no sense, baby. So
Hey,
yeah.
as he said, to in all honesty and fairness, representation does matter. It is very important, particularly to our little black and brown kids, man. We definitely need to see people that look like us and are represented.
Yep.
And it definitely helps to the story when you're talking about something in Africa, South Africa, all these different places where black and brown people are prominent or known to be, and they have people that don't look like that. So
yeah, we gotta stop doing that. Come on,
Yeah.
Hollywood.
So
We can do better.
let's make it happen as it relates to that. We definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. But as always, kinfolk, please remember, when I talk, you talk, we talk. That's that free talk right here in the People's Podcast.
Peace.
Catch y'all next week. Peace.